Victor Wembanyama just finished his first NBA game, a 126 to 119 loss to the Dallas Mavericks, and Victor struggled. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He struggled in his first NBA game. Offensively, he was fine. He had 15 points on 6 for 9 shooting and shot 3 for 5 from the three-point line, and was 0 for 1 on free throws. But defensively is where he really struggled, and we were expecting a lot from him defensively, but he had 5 fouls. He was only able to play 23 minutes because of his foul trouble, and actually turned the ball over 5 times. He only had 5 rebounds and 1 block, which was surprising from him because Victor Wembanyama is 7'4", and you would think that he would be able to grab a few more than 5 rebounds. He had a few guys on his team that out-rebounded him, with Keldon Johnson grabbing 9 rebounds. Devin Vassell as a guard even had as many rebounds. Zach Collins had as many rebounds. Jeremy Sohan had 8 rebounds. Even Trey Jones as a guard, as a shorter guard, had 5 rebounds. And I'm not saying that Victor is like, oh my goodness, he's a bust because he only had 5 rebounds and 1 block in his first game. He's overrated defensively. No, it's just the thing that I'm taking away from this is that he's going to have to develop in the NBA. He had 5 fouls and was only able to play 23 minutes, like I said, and turn the ball over 5 times. And those are rookie mistakes that he's going to make. And especially as a big man who is going to go for a lot of blocks, of course, he's going to have those personal fouls. And one thing I was a little bit disappointed to see, though, is that he only had 1 block to go alongside those 5 fouls. Normally, when a big man plays aggressively enough to get 5 fouls, he will also be compensated with some blocks that will almost not outweigh the fouls, but he'll almost cancel them out. And he didn't have that. He only had the 1 block and the 5 personal fouls. For me, a foul to block ratio is almost like a turnover to assist ratio for a big man, because if you're going to get up 4 or 5 blocks but have those 5 fouls, it's an equal trade-off. Just like if you have 12 assists but 4 turnovers, 5 turnovers. But he struggled in terms of turnovers as well as the personal fouls, and that's something that, as a Spurs fan, you shouldn't necessarily be concerned, because it is his first NBA game, but they didn't really go up against that much competition in terms of big men. And of course, Dallas has Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, both of whom played well. Luka had a 33-point triple-double on 52% shooting, and Kyrie had 22 points and 6 assists. But they don't really have that big man that's going to stop him from scoring offensively, and that's going to really back him down defensively. So to see him pick up those fouls and not really get blocks against a team that struggles inside and doesn't really have a good big man, it's a little bit concerning to me, just because I'm concerned for when he goes up against a guy, even like a Christian Wood in LA, who's not a great big man, but who is an above average center. And when he goes up against a guy like that, a guy like Christian Wood, a guy like Bam Adebayo, and obviously a guy like Jokic or Embiid, he's going to struggle, especially with fouls, because he picked up 5 against a team that didn't really have a big man to oppose him. And this is just going to be the learning process that he goes through. But I've been saying since the beginning, since Summer League, since he was drafted, since even before he was drafted, we have to pump the brakes on the Victor Wembanyama all-star in his first year hype, because he's going to have to adjust to the NBA game just like anybody else will. No matter what, he's going to have to adjust to the NBA and the style of play in the NBA. And this game showed it for me. This game proved my point, because as much as he has been dominant overseas and dominant in the Summer League, he hasn't gone up against real NBA competition night in and night out before. And the Euro League and the French League are not bad leagues. There's a lot of talent that goes overseas, but it's not up to the NBA physicality or the NBA talent level. And when you combine physicality and talent level for a guy who's relied on athleticism and his height, but is still fairly slim for a guy that's 7'4", you're going to have a guy who struggles when he comes and has to adjust to the NBA game. But that's just the thing. He's going to have to make an adjustment. And for a guy like Victor Wembanyama, he is talented enough to adjust to the NBA style. And it might take 20 games, it might take 40 games, it might take the entire season, but he will develop. And I'm not saying that he's bad, and I don't want to rag on him. And I do want to say that I want him to succeed in the NBA. But I don't know if his game is going to immediately transition from the Summer League, from the French League, over to the NBA. And it's not going to be the seamless transition that people thought. And this game kind of proved it, because Dallas doesn't have, like I said, that big man that is going to back you down and is going to give you 20 and 10. But even a guy like Domantas Sabonis, I believe, will body Victor Wembanyama early on in the season. And I don't know when the Spurs play against Domantas Sabonis first, but I do believe that even that kind of matchup will be not very good for Victor. And right now, he's relied on his talent alone to get him through, and his height, the combination of his height and guard skills. But he's going to have to develop that and transition into the NBA style of play going past this game and going throughout this season. I still think that he put up decent offensive stats. They're not running their offense really through him right now. Keldon Johnson had 17 points. Even Zach Collins had 14. Devin Vassell had 23. Jeremy Sohan had 13. And these guys shot fairly decent from the field. Cedi Osman had 12, and Trey Jones off the bench actually had a really good game, with scoring 16 points and having 6 assists and 5 rebounds on 71% shooting and 2 for 3 from the three-point line. And I'm really impressed with this team. They kind of hung around with Dallas the entire game, even with Luka having a really solid game. Kyrie didn't play amazing, but when Luka has a triple-double, normally the Dallas Mavericks will win. And the Spurs were able to kind of hang with them. I saw that they had even a lead at one point after the first quarter. They were winning 43-36, and after the first half, they were still up by about 2 points. But then in the second half, it just all kind of came tumbling down, especially when Wembanyama was in foul trouble. And I really do think that he's going to be able to pick it up and improve off of his 5 fouls and 5 turnovers in his first game. That's not going to be a recurring thing, but it might be. The foul trouble might be a recurring thing for the first maybe 15 to 20 games of the season, or maybe a little bit longer than that. But I'm really excited to see what Victor can develop into. And if you guys want, I can make a video on some of the other rookies around the league, maybe Scoot Henderson or some of those guys. So God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing day. Let me know what other videos you want me to make regarding the NBA season as it's getting to full swing here. God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers by Christmas time. God bless.